Survival. It's not just a skill. It's not just a mindset. It's a birthright. Since the dawn of man, we have braved the elements, conquered the wilderness, built civilization using nothing but our wits, our hands, and I don't know, probably rocks and sticks and stuff. Out here, there's no doorbells, no microwaves, no mom to bring you pizza rolls, just you and the raw, untamed fury of Mother Earth. And me, I laugh in the face of nature, right in its stupid face. The key to survival is fire. Fire is warmth. Fire is protection. Fire is the original handheld. Portable heat, no firmware updates required. Almost there. I just gotta hit the frictional resonance point. That's a real term, I swear. Real survival is about adapting, and just now I've adapted to using a lighter I found in my junk drawer. And I brought here to make fire. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Bob, get the hose. Welcome back, my friends, to another dusty installment of the Dusty Game Society, the retro gaming club where we crack open dusty relics of days long past that we found under our bed, or in an old box in the attic, or in a tree stump in the woods. I'll tell you more about the DGS at the end of the video, but first we have a game to share. This month we finally tackled a game that's been taunting me from my to playlist for years. Survival Kids on the Game Boy Color. I've wanted to play this one for ages, but I never quite made the time. I'm a busy dweeb, what can I say? But thanks to the Dusty Game Society, I had the perfect excuse to finally dive in, and I'm so glad I did. This game surprised me. It's not just a cute little Game Boy Color curiosity, it's kind of the granddaddy of the entire survival genre. Like, we don't get Minecraft without Survival Kids kind of thing. That blew my mind, and it'll probably blow yours. So prepare to be blown. I mean, the story begins with a shipwreck, and it kind of ends there too. After the intro, there's almost no story in the game at all. You wash up on a deserted island as either a boy or a girl, and from that moment on, you're alone. You're confused, you're very hungry, there's a mischievous little monkey, and there's a wild pig that does not like you poking around its turf. The story of Survival Kids is less about what's told to you and more about what you discover. It's almost anti-story in a way. There's no narrator guiding you, no journal entries laying out your next steps. It's all instinct and wilderness, like a true survivor. And that's what makes it special. You gotta kind of teach yourself the game mechanics. How to build fires and repair your house and how to overcome the obstacles. You'll kind of feel like you're actually surviving. Not that you're gonna leave this game with actual survival skills or anything. I'm pretty sure combining a stick and some bark doesn't instantly make fire in real life, but in the world of the game, you'll feel like you're really doing it. And each thing you do brings you closer to not dying, and maybe even escaping the island. And maybe even something else that I won't spoil. But here's the real twist. You're supposed to play this game more than once. It's got multiple endings, like a bunch of them, and each one that you unlock gives you another little sliver of the bigger puzzle. By the third or fourth run, I started noticing connections that I missed the first time. Not just item locations or different crafting combos, but bigger mysteries. And I don't want to spoil them because I think they're fun to uncover, but let's just say there's more to this uninhabited island than meets the eye at first. There's a subtle story here if you stick with it, but even if you don't, Survival Kids tells the tale of a poor dweeb who crashed on an island and immediately found out that no, that's not a coconut, it's a beehive, and now you're dead. And in a way, that's the most honest story of all. I imagine that when Survival Kids came out, that lots of people didn't quite know what to make of it. It's got one foot in the classic Game Boy action adventure genre, the top-down movement and menu-based item use and simple controls, and one foot in something much more experimental and ahead of its time, a full-blown survival simulator. And just like in the survival games that we know and love today, you're managing hunger and thirst and fatigue and health. You're crafting tools out of rocks and sticks. You're trying to figure out if that weird fruit you found is going to nourish you or explode your digestive system from the inside out. about. There's no levels, no experience points, no real combat system to speak of, apart from a basic slash with knife animation. Your goal is really simple. You have to figure out how to survive and eventually escape the island. But the way you do that is totally up to you. There's multiple paths to survival, multiple endings, and a bunch of secrets hidden just out of reach until you try something different on your next run. That's what really surprised me. This game wants you to replay it. It's short, but by design. You're meant to die. You're meant to restart. You're meant to try weird ideas and fail miserably and then try again. One run you might build a raft, another you might discover a hidden cave and find a way to use your radio, or die by being mauled by a boar. Again, the crafting system is super rudimentary, but it works. You can try to combine almost anything with anything. The bendy stick and the vine, boom, bow. Chunk of iron and stick, boom, axe. Stick and berry, boom, berry stick. Actually, that's not in the game, but I did do that in real life once. But it feels like anything is possible. Any combination could make something, so you'll want to experiment a lot and see what you can stumble upon. It's like a survival sandbox in miniature, and it scratches that same itch as modern crafting heavy games. Except here it's all compressed into a bite-sized Game Boy Color game with an 8-bit sprite of your character waving a pocket knife around like it's Excalibur. Is it clunky? Oh yeah. The UI is awkward, inventory management can be frustrating, and it doesn't always explain what items do. I mean, it's a Game Boy Color game after all, but like lots of Game Boy Color games, that's kind of part of the charm. I like the ambiguity because you're not supposed to know stuff. You're supposed to be a confused little kid on a terrifying island who doesn't know how to do stuff and really just wants an adult to come and solve all their problems. Just like me, most of the time in real life. I've really come to appreciate the graphical style that lots of the Game Boy Color games went for, and Survival Kids captures everything that I like about that style of pixel art. It's lovely on retro handhelds. I played first on my iNeo DMG and then I switched over to the Retroid Pocket Classic, and it looks amazing. The top-down art style is really simple but expressive. Every part of the island feels distinct. You got lush forests and dry mountain paths and swampy ponds and mysterious other places, spooky cave and one extremely grumpy wild boar. The character sprites are basic, sure, but they're clean and well done. You can always tell what things are supposed to be, which isn't a given for games from this era. There's not much by way of cutscenes or scripted visual drama, although there is some, and they're really well done, but mostly it's all about experimentation and mood. And I like how the world feels alive. You know, there's fish jumping and water sparkling, little critters scurrying around. The time of day shifts the colors, giving you a feel for the sun and the sky. There's this subtle sense of life, like the island is moving around you. It's not flashy, but there's a quiet beauty in the details. When it comes to the music, there's kind of up and down. They tried to do different tracks for different areas, and some of them are more adventurous and some of them are more subtle and minimal. I didn't love the main track, but it wasn't annoying, so I could ignore it. And that actually created a nice contrast. When the music changed, it actually made me feel like I was in a different area. There's also some areas that are straight up silent, like on the beach where all you can hear is the waves. I like those parts. I wish the whole game was like that actually, because those places made you feel like you were really there. Stuck in the middle of nowhere, listening to nature and your stomach growl. There's also little sound effects that I grew to really like. The ping when you successfully combine an item, the little things. They did good with that stuff. Survival Kids is absolutely a product of its time, and I say that with love, and also with a raised eyebrow, and probably food in my teeth, as usual. It's super ambitious for a Game Boy Color game. Like, it's juggling full-on survival mechanics, a crafting system, a day-night cycle, randomized weather, multiple endings, non-linear exploration, hunger, thirst, fatigue, weird berries that gaslight you into thinking they're food. But yeah, there's also a lot of jank here. You'll spend a lot of time in menus, a lot, just scrolling through items, moving things back and forth from storage, combining random junk, hoping you remember if the soft berry was the one that healed you or gave you instant diarrhea. Crafting is fun in theory, but in practice, it can feel like playing Go Fish with jungle trash. You're just kind of guessing and shooting in the dark. Sometimes you make something cool, usually you make nothing. Sometimes you combine things together and it makes something useless and you lose your things and you cry a little. I mean, you probably will. I didn't do that. This game also gives you zero direction. Like, it doesn't even try. It hands you a coconut and says, go nuts. I mean, is a coconut nut? Is that a pun? I think that's a pun. And you might wander in circles wondering if you're even making progress, and sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're just lost, and that's kind of the point, and also kind of annoying. I like trying to figure stuff out, and I liked the trial and error, but I don't think everyone will. But even when it annoyed me, I kept going back because the classic survival feeling, the one that gets its hooks in your brain and doesn't let go. Every death taught me something and every ending made me want another. Even when I got clobbered by bad item combos or lost hours wandering in circles, I never felt like I wasted my time because every run moves the needle. Every run reveals something. Every run makes you better. I mean, except the ones where I forgot to drink water for 3 days. The only thing I learned there was that I can't be trusted to maintain my hydration, just like real life. Survival Kids isn't just a retro game. It's not just some crusty little Game Boy cartridge from the forgotten sock drawer of 1999. It's basically the primordial ooze that the entire survival genre crawled out of. This game invented the modern survive-em-up. Like before we had massive open worlds and fully voiced hunger meters and skill trees the size of a small moon, we had this. That tiny Game Boy Color game where you poked around a jungle, ate some bark, and hoped you didn't get dysentery from drinking out of a puddle. This game walked so that Minecraft could run. So Don't Starve could not starve. So Valheim could build a stick hut and freeze to death in a loincloth. All of those modern survival crafting games that people stream for 800 hours, this was the genesis of that. Craft stuff, eat stuff, don't die, die anyway, then try again. It's all here, just in baby form. And the wildest part is that this came out in 1999. Everyone else was making linear platformers or half-baked movie tie-ins, and Konami was out here saying, what if we made a game where kids just survive? No plot, no tutorials, no mercy, just the harsh reality of nature itself. You spawn in the dirt and the game shrugs like, good luck champ, I hope you brought a big stick. Playing it now gave me new respect for just how far the genre has come, but also a weird kind of nostalgia for how simple and raw it all started. This game is old, it's janky, it's deeply strange, but so am I. And you love me, so you might love this. But that's just one dweeb's opinion, and the Dusty Game Society isn't a one dweeb show, so let's hear what the other DGS members had to say about Survival Kids, shall we? Groove It BB is brand new to the GGS. Welcome, my friend. They thought Survival Kids was adorable and cozy, but also felt like it was a lot of work, and they didn't get the payoff that they'd hoped. Beowulf 410 hasn't explored much of the Game Boy Color library and found Survival Kids to be a nice surprise. They liked figuring out the effects of random foods and merging random items, wasn't able to finish but will keep playing after this month. Borf 42 found the game to be pretty tough and had to resort to looking up some info online. Didn't make it very far in the game and gave it 7 out of 10 beehives. Ouch. The Shibushi was surprised that a Game Boy Color game could have so much open worldness to it. Found the game allowed the player to experience the world at their own pace. Had some struggles figuring out what some items did, but ultimately found the game impressive as an early entry into the survival genre. Zonger couldn't get into this one. Said it felt more like a chore than a game. Frowny face. Monkey 484 isn't big on survival games, and here they loved the art style and the music and appreciated the game as the inspiration for other survival games, but ultimately the game just wasn't for them. Monkey Jar says, I can do a simple review on this one, nope, and I can give you a simple response. Okay. Jot N played this on the Funny Playing Game Boy Color and really enjoyed it. They got to 3 endings in over 100 in-game days. Liked the graphics, item system, world size, and multiple endings, and gave it 8 out of 10 Wilsons. Retro Gaming Monkey thought this was good for quick pick up and play sessions and will keep the game in their rotation, but laments there's no Wilson. And that's fair. It would be better with Wilson. Kamimoto125 survived for 93 days, but that's it. They didn't even get an ending. Dang, buddy, you were so close. Like that you had to fend for yourself, finding food and water and going to bed on time. Found the foxes and the bees unforgiving, which I totally agree with. And it feels like this would be a standard survival game today, but on hardcore mode. That's actually a good way to put it. And King Droogie played until one of the endings and found it wasn't for him. Found the item combinations and progression system a bit unintuitive, too trial and error, which yeah, it is, but did feel like it would have been impressive for the Game Boy Color at the time of release. I was surprised that so many of the DGS members didn't dig this one. I really enjoyed it myself. I got 4 endings and I'm definitely going to keep playing for this from time to time to try to find more. I'd love to get them all someday. But hey, that's why we do the DGS. Everyone's got different tastes and preferences, and hearing different takes on the same thing keeps things spicy. Speaking of which, the DGS is a perk that I offer to the patrons of TechDweeb. Every month I pick a game for us to play together, we talk about it all month long and help each other out, and at the end of the month we share our final thoughts for videos like this one. And if you're interested in supporting the important work that I do and take part in the DGS as a bonus side quest, there's a link in the description below. And if you don't want to throw money at a stranger on the internet, the free version is that you can wait for videos like this and then try the game. Survival Kids is definitely worth a try if you haven't yet. And if you have, let's hear your thoughts on it. Do you like the game? Do you hate it? Let's chat about it in the comments below. And while you're down there, click the thumbs up button if you liked the video, or don't if you didn't. That's it from us for today. From all of us at the Dusty Game Society, stay dusty, my friends.